What's up, everybody? Welcome to a new YouTube video. Today we're going to be answering some frequently asked questions on Redbubble that are going to make you more money, hopefully. So let's go ahead and hop right in. I had a bunch of comments in the past few days that I weren't able to address. I wasn't able to answer back because of time's sake. And usually I like to spend like 10 to 15 minutes every day at the end of the day just answering everybody's comments from both videos for that day. The only problem is this past week, from Monday to Friday, I was so busy, it's ridiculous. I mean, crazy busy, and you guys know how it is. We all have those busy times. So what I could do is I figured I'd answer some of these questions to help out here. Okay, so we got a whole bunch of questions. First of all, let's go ahead and tackle one of the questions. I don't remember exactly where it was, but I believe it was, I don't remember where it was, but somebody asked very specifically. They said, "Are you allowed to have multiple stores with the same email on Redbubble?" The answer is no. You're not allowed to have multiple stores with the same email, but you are allowed to have multiple emails for different stores. So you are allowed to have different stores. Okay. Now let's go ahead and answer some of the questions. Fami asks, how long does it take to create 60 designs? About a half hour. Let's see here. Ben Harris asks, how do you have the time to make all these videos and do 60 designs a day? You're an absolute madman. Shout out to Ben, thank you. The way I create the 60 designs is very quick, and these videos are very quick also. It's not like I'm doing crazy editing and things like that. When I do have a little bit of extra time, sometimes I do include some edits, like I include an intro, I do things like that. But, just time management, just try not to get distracted too much. A lot of the times what I feel myself is if I sit down and I'm like turning on the TV and I'm actually paying attention to the TV, what happens is that task that could have took me 20 minutes, 30 minutes is now taking me an hour and 45 minutes. So I try to focus as much as I can. Obviously, I'm not perfect, but I try my best. Gascony Passion. Shout out to Gascony Passion, by the way. I remember Gascony was one of the first YouTube viewers here from the beginning of the Redbubble series and gave me a lot of encouragement. So shout out to Gascony. He says, "Hi, great video. Is it okay if I upload the exact same designs I made on Redbubble to other platforms?" The answer is yes. You are allowed to do that. Redbubble encourages it. A lot of other platforms encourage it. I don't know of any platform that goes out there and says you cannot. So yeah. Somebody says on our Twitter video, if it's on for 30 to 60 seconds, how long should I leave it on? He's talking about the bot. I would say about, you're looking at, you want to keep it, on for more than 60 seconds for sure. So you're looking at a minute to a minute and 20. Let's see here. This is pretty motivating. I appreciate it. Kaziki Nero. Please share the links to your store so we can find what kind of designs are uploading. Is very helpful. I actually left the store. The Stoic store is public, so you guys can find that store. I will be taking that store and making it an official store. So when I say official store, I'm going to be bringing it to over past 1,000 designs in 1 month, or 1,800 designs in 1 month. I'm not going to do it now because I have things lined up and I have a certain process behind what I'm doing for Redbubble. But I can't show the actual ones that I decide to keep for my actual business because the copycats will rip them off, just as what happened to the Stoic store. Like I said, in the first week, literally the first 7 days of me sharing the Stoic store, even though I had a premonition, I had a feeling, about, I think, 8, 9 stores, copycats immediately. And it wasn't even hard to find. I could just do a basic search on Redbubble or Instagram, and I found them immediately. So for me, I don't want my hard work to go to waste, with all due respect, right? And so for me, I'd rather make these videos and talk about things as opposed to showing my personal stores and having them, every single one of them, ripped off, because it will be only a matter of time at that point. These videos are here on the internet and they live forever. Let's go ahead and jump on some more. Shout out to Chile Variety. This was the comment that inspired me to make today's video. She says, "Hey bro, thanks for your consistency. Really appreciate it. I've enrolled into the design course, and I must say initially While after watching 60 designs in 34-minute video, I didn't believe that I could do it. But watching it a second time while doing it, it's entirely possible to get it done. Thanks for teaching the efficiency to get this up and running fast, and love binging your YouTube videos. Thanks for the solid content and actionable insights. Much love. Much grateful. God bless you. First of all, God bless you, Chili Variety. Sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. I'm not the best reader. Grammar, writer, whatever. I'm not the best in any of that kind of thing. So if I pronounce your name wrong, I completely apologize. But shout out to you. God bless you. And thank you for enrolling in the course and taking your trust in me. I'm really happy that you got the course and you actually can now see a different light to creating those 60 designs. Like I said, and I've said this a lot before, but a lot of people do have this feeling, this premonition that it's not possible to create 60 designs in one day. And I'm here to tell you it's completely possible. I've showed it live in the print-on-demand design course. I'll leave the link in the comments down below, guys. We have two different courses. We have the Redbubble tag course. We have the design course. And then we have a bunch of other mini courses and stuff. As you guys know, we have the the blend designs mini course. We have the graphics pack, things like that. I have been asked, and by the way, this is Chili's channel. I want to shout her out because she does have a channel. So shout out to her. Go help her. Subscribe to her. I think she does reaction videos. I could be wrong, but I think she does reaction videos. So go check her out. And Chili Variety, shout out to her. Go subscribe. But what we were talking about was the course. Yes, I did include in that video there was this one video, that 34-minute video, that was essentially me creating this 63 designs live. And then what I did and that video was quiet. There was no talking, there was no commentary, not on that video. And then there were other videos of me explaining the logic and everything that I did behind it, right? The setup, everything like that. And now people can see very, very clearly that it's completely possible to do that. So I've shown that in the course, and if that's something you're interested in, check it out. The link will be in the description box down below. Let's see here, and let's just keep reading. I like the way you analyze things, and I want to give you an important question. What should I do to make your designs appear in the search results? Google does. It depends on the keywords. Redbubble, there are other ways. So yeah, there are two different search engines that you're going to really want to focus on when it comes down to Redbubble, okay? You have the Redbubble search engine, and then you have the Google search engine. Now, for Google, it's a much a different game than it is Redbubble. In fact, they operate on completely different planes, okay? Google relies on the value of that website, and we're talking about the whole entire website, and they rely on a few other factors. Now, some of these factors are more pronounced and more obvious than others, okay? So Google has publicly stated that there are over 230 plus ranking factors. And the reality is as time goes on, there's only going to be more and more. And what a ranking factor is it's essentially a decider. It's a decider that will choose what website goes on top of the other on Google. So for example, let's say I created this design right here. Let's go ahead and click on this. I want to click on this design. How do I click on that? Okay. Let's go ahead and click on this right here. All right. And here's a design called Siri. Siri, is that how it is? Or Kiri? I have no idea. I don't know what movie this is or what show or what character. I have no idea. Let's just say Siri for this example, okay? Essential t-shirt, all right? If there are other competitors, what Google is going to do is it's going to see, okay, it's going to take all those 200 plus ranking factors in account. Like it's a mathematical formula. And it'll say, okay, this one has more, this one has more, this one has less, etc. And some of these ranking factors include things like click-through rate. Some of the ranking factors include things like bounce rate, user engagement rate, things like that, right? And there's a whole bunch of different characteristics. And what happens is depending on these rates, one will rank above the other. A lot of it is stuff that you cannot control. But the other stuff that you can control that allow you to jump on Google is, and let's just be clear on this, a lot of people are talking about being indexed on Google. Being indexed is not nearly as important as getting ranked. Like, I can get every single design of mine, quote unquote, indexed. But that doesn't matter because not every single design is going to rank. And so there are specific methods in terms of keyword research that you could do to make sure that your design gets seen on Google. Now, you have to be able to ascertain the true value of Google. And I always say this, in fact, I've said this in the tagging and titling course, is that when you're optimizing for Google specifically, you have to realize that that's going to be a percentage of your traffic. And the reason why that is because when somebody searches for something on Google, there's not always buyer intent. And what buyer intent means is that, for example, if I search for Siri t-shirt, there might be buyer intent there, but there might not be as well. So you might get a lot of visits to your product. That doesn't mean you're going to get sales. With Google specifically, that's why I say there are certain characteristics that you want to include in your work that will help you increase that buyer intent as much as possible. I'm not going to be able to say them publicly here because I've included that information in my tagging course, okay? And the curriculum is right here, by the way. If you're interested to see, I've wrote out every single title in the tagging course. Now, with Google, there's no true way to actually tell Google, hey, I want this link on the very first page, on the very first spot. There's no way to do that. But what you can do is you can assess the competition, and based on that, you can give yourself the absolute highest chance, okay? And once again, for those who took the course and know what I'm talking about, Now, as for Redbubble operates in a completely different way because everybody else is on the same landscape, okay, when it comes down to getting ranked on on Redbubble. And the way that is there's a few different things, okay? We assess the Redbubble algorithm based on a few things. The first thing is going to be the keyword relevancy, right? So the words that you use in your tags, the words that you use in your titles, okay? Those are going to be mostly the tags, but titles are involved. Most of the tags are going to play a really big part in this. This is why I tell you guys, it's very, very important to learn how to tag properly. And relevancy goes both ways. You can't just put the right keywords and then put wrong keywords and expect for you to rank. That doesn't work. That actually hurts you. And this is why I said in the course specifically, I said less is more sometimes. Because if you're going to start adding words that don't necessarily relate right away, then Redbubble is going to take, and Redbubble's algorithm is not too advanced, so it's going to look at it like in terms of a relevancy data, and it's going to say, why would we rank this design? It doesn't even make sense, right? Because it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant due to the type of tags that it has. And like I said, we discussed that more in the course, so I'm not even going to talk too much about that here. Another algorithm ranking factor on Redbubble is the conversion rate. So what a conversion rate is imagine I go up here and I search for tiger, okay? Let's just go ahead and do this. I search for tiger, okay? And we have a whole bunch of tiger designs. It's fair to assume that this design gets the highest conversion rate opposed to this one, or opposed to this one, or opposed to this one. Now, I want to say conversion rate is much different than traffic rate, okay? And this is based on relevancy, okay? We're not even basing it on other categories, but let's just say relevancy, right? Conversion rate is much different than traffic. Because what conversion rate is it is the simplified fraction of all the different products. So, for example, let's say every 5 out of 6 people buy this product, right? Let's say for this one, every 11 out of, let's say, 17 buy this product. And for this one, let's say every 11 out of 23 buy this product, okay? That is the definition of conversion rates. It's where the highest conversion rate is going to stay to the top, okay? And that's a ranking factor. Now, there could be other ranking factors that come into play, like the number of sales, right? So, like, let's say this design here has the highest ranking conversion rate, but this design here might have just simply more sales, right? And that's why it's an algorithm. It's a complicated mathematical formula that determines what goes first, depending on these different data points. So one of them is conversion rates, one of them is keyword relevancy, one of them is sales rate, so the number of sales. Another one is the number of favorites it receives. So if a design gets more favorites like this, it's more likely to rank higher, okay? And I can't tell you how likely, but it is more likely, and I've performed tests on this on products in the 10th page, 15th page, even my own products, and I've seen that it works. That's why we use the Redbubble Automator favorite bot. And if you haven't learned about that, just go into my older videos and check them out. I've talked about that tool before, where you can automate your own favorites on your own accounts if you're like me and you have multiple accounts, or you can automate and favorite other people's work in an effort to get favorites back. Okay, so hopefully that's clear. We got a question from Mr. Mike's Art. When you tag, do you need to put a hashtag, or is it just the words with the commas in between? That's all right. That's perfectly fine. When you tag, guys, on Redbubble, you do put the word and then comma, the next word, comma, the next word, comma, the next word. And that's kind of how Redbubble will pick it up. You don't need to put a hashtag. That's only something related to Instagram. So if you're familiar with Instagram, we use Instagram to promote our products on Redbubble, right? To gain market, to gain traffic. And when we do that, what we do is we put hashtags for every single one of the keywords. Now, Redbubble has a total of 50 hashtags allowed, but what I will say is, like I said, sometimes less is more. It just depends on your strategy, and I've solidified my strategy to a point where I'm able to share that publicly, like I said, on the tagging course. So if you're interested in that, check out the tagging course. The link to the tagging course and the design course will be in the description box, in the comment box, the pinned comment down below. But with that being said, there's a lot of different aspects to tagging. Something I also will say is do not take the tagging strategy of Redbubble and include it in other platforms. They're not all the same, right? You want to do your research on all these platforms. I'll tell you this, like Zazzle, for example, completely different tagging strategy than what you have on Redbubble. Completely different. In fact, almost everything is the opposite on Redbubble than on Zazzle. Okay, so don't kind of mix them. Just because there's a tagging strategy that works for Redbubble doesn't mean it will work for another platform. That's something you have to be very, very aware of, and that could actually mess up your results for other platforms. And that's one of the one thing that I would say that's bad about automation softwares is when you automate to multiple different platforms, is you have the expectancy that all of a sudden your designs are going to do well because they do well on one platform. That's not the case at all. In fact, the algorithms and the way these things are set up are completely different, and it's unrealistic to expect that the tagging strategies will be the same. They're really not. I'm actually coming out with a course on Zazzle tagging very, very soon, and I'll share that soon. But for now, these are all the questions that I'm going to answer. I will reply to every single one of you guys individually, and I figured I will reply to you guys. Don't worry. I'm just been a little busy. All right. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, and hopefully me answering these questions help clear some stuff up. All right. Peace.